Hey guys and girls, welcome back to another beautiful channel, beautiful day on the beautiful everything, beautiful video, all that stuff, all that good stuff. It's been a while. I'm on my vacation and I just got my tooth fixed, so I'm kind of lazy when it comes to making this game right here. But yeah, it's no problem. You know, we'll work a little bit on it. I changed one thing. There was a little bug with the scoring system, so I changed this. Before it used to say score, it just used to say this, and what happened was that the score got the last player's score and nothing else, so only one player was counting towards the total score. But when I added this, it started working again. Name us problemas, no problems. So that was it. I think that was it. And I changed in a few places wherever we print out score. Let me go see. What was here? I did this. I did the int and the round. So because round gives back a double, and then I made that into an integer. So yeah, it shouldn't be that big of a deal if we round down the number. Now we don't have a bunch of decimals, so that's kind of what I wanted. Just press P. Everything works just as usual. Yeah, everything works. See how it says 0 over here and nothing else? And when I die, it says 0 as well in the game over text. And the game over text is down here, right here. Yeah, int and then round. So that's it. So what do we want to make, guys and girls? What I said bosses in the last video, kind of make a big kind of boss type thing. And to make a really simple boss, what we could do is we add a class. We call it boss. Now, I realize there are a bunch of complications because we aren't using scripts and we aren't using stuff like that in our beautiful, I'll close upgrade for now, in our beautiful game. So, let me see what enemy has. Sprite, window bounds, look direction, normalized, look direction, max velocity. Yeah, we won't be using that. Anyway. It's kind of hard to make bosses. I'm not gonna lie. Private. It's kind of hard because you gotta have scripts. You gotta have a bunch of stuff. You don't want to make one class for every boss. Now I could do that, and that's just what I'm gonna have to do because I suck and I don't really know scripts that well. I just started using them in some stuff, and I'm not really comfortable with it yet. So I wouldn't want to make tutorials on it. But I'm getting to it. Because it's really important. You got to know a scripting language basically to make games. So I mean, get to it, go learn and stuff. Maybe you can implement it in this game, who knows. But yeah, I'm just gonna make a simple boss class. We're gonna have a kind of an array for guns, and this one simple boss is gonna have they're gonna have a type, so a boss type basically. I'm thinking just as a simple boss, this could be like a mini boss or something. So int type, we'll do a D array for guns. So we're gonna need a D array for textures as well. Let me just go ahead. What was the last one? Upgrade. Okay, so upgrade. Let me see how I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna copy this. I'm gonna include boss here. Boss.h. Not that I need it there, but still, I'm gonna do that. And in boss, I'm gonna include all this stuff. So yeah, that should be fine. We're gonna get our usual float dt multiplier. We're gonna do type. We're gonna have a main texture or a sprite. So we're gonna have one sprite. I'm not gonna do a bunch of other stuff. Oh, the other way around. Whoops. Yeah, my tooth is still kind of hurting, so I'm like, ugh, I'm blabbering. But yeah, this should be fine. Now we're gonna have a D array for texture, and then textures, all the textures we need in this thing here. We have a sprite. We're gonna have a bunch of stuff. Let's see. So what if we do this? What if we have a D array? What if we have a D array of sprites, right? Of sprite. sprites. So because we can have different sprites for our guns the boss is gonna have, this way we can have like a undefined number of guns. And then we want a function which is gonna be void movement, and then that's gonna be good. That's just our regular thing, movement, and then of course void update const float dt, and then void draw, and then we're gonna have the render target. That's good. Now movement is just gonna, depending on the type, we're gonna move this whole thing, the whole boss. Now let's start off with the type, and then we'll give it the, no, you know what, the array texture, and then textures. Now the way we send the textures in is gonna be in the exact same way we're gonna put them onto the sprites. So we're gonna have a bunch of sprites, and we're gonna have to keep track of which sprite has which texture, which is gonna be interesting. How we're gonna do that, I don't know, but yeah, we'll we'll manage somehow. So boss textures, int type, vector, or we'll start with vector2 of position, and then type. Then yeah, we could just start with that. Actually. So yeah, let's do this. And then this type equals type, this textures equals textures. So it's a reference, and we have a texture pointer, actually pointer, so that's gonna be the address of it. And then we have a type, so this. Now how are we gonna do this? Because I think sprite number 0 should be the body. We should have a rule for this, and then the rest will be like other stuff. So let's do a for loop, and then this textures.size. So we'll go through all the textures, and we will assign them accordingly to all the sprites. Now this is really complicated, but it should be fine. That way we don't have to, this should be fine. So now this will depend on type. Switch this type. Okay, the type of the boss. So case 0 break, case 1 break, and then default break. So this is just an experiment, guys and girls, but we'll try to make it this way. It should work. So we'll go through all the textures. We'll say that the first position. So how we're gonna do this? This sprites.add a sprite with a texture. So this textures dereferenced at position I. So we're gonna create a bunch of sprites with the corresponding textures, and we need a rule here. So enum textures. Let's say enum textures, and then just body equals 0, and then yeah, let's just say body equals 0, and then we'll see. We'll do all the guns in the middle, and then I guess we could do number of guns, because then we would know at what point we could expect something else. So, but we'll see how we do that. We can just keep this on ice for now. This is okay. This is fine. Whatever. We'll add a bunch of sprites. We'll add a bunch of textures. We're good. This type, this stuff. Now we're gonna go into stats. Int damage max, int damage min. That's good. Then we're gonna have int HP max, int HP, int damage timer. Or yeah, okay, we'll have an int damage timer. So the boss I guess we could have a part for the we're gonna have a timer for the boss where you can't. Well, you could. Well, no, I don't know. We'll try to fix this somehow. What we could do is we could do this, guys and girls. You know what? We could do this. Why not? This is a hobo way to do it, but boss gun. I want to make a class that holds everything. Private, public. So we're gonna have a little class in here called a boss gun. So public is gonna be boss gun, and then a destructor. Boss gun. So this is gonna have a float shoot timer, and then a float shoot timer max. Okay, then we're gonna have one sprite. Well, let's keep that actually. Let's do. Whoops, I'm sorry, guys and girls. You know, let me do this first. So we'll have one sprite. Sprite, and then we'll have guns. Okay, gun. The array boss gun guns. So we'll have a bunch of guns. We'll have all the textures in here that we'll need, and boss gun is gonna need a shoot timer. It's gonna need a float DT multiplier as well. We're gonna need a sprite for gun sprite for bullet sprite, I think. Well, or should we create that outside? Whenever we shoot the boss gun is going to, because how do we do it in player? We have bullets. Yeah, the boss is gonna have a bunch of bullets as well that are gonna be added. So it's gonna have, this doesn't need a bullet sprite. It's just a gun. We're gonna have shoot timer max, and boss gun. That's good. Let's do a constructor. Let's do a destructor. So have a sprite for itself. We can send in a texture in here. Texture, and then a vector 2f position. That's what we're going to do here as well. This sprite dot set position, and then after we set the textures for it, just like that, this sprite dot set texture, this texture at position 0, at position body. So we always send in the first thing here. If this textures dot size is greater than 0, then so this, there we go. So we'll have a little error check here just to see if we can set that texture or not. And then we're gonna set the position, we're gonna do a bunch of other stuff, whatever, we'll handle that later. But we got a bunch of guns. So boss, so when we create a boss with type 0, so this is the first boss, kind of. We can have a like a huge thing here. Yeah. Easy boss. Okay, all of the textures are good. We set the texture there. We'll set the textures, then we'll send in the guns. So let's do a rule here. Texture rule 0 for body. Okay, 0 for body, 1 to x, 1 to number of guns for guns, then of guns plus how much, plus what else do we need? Well, we'll just have that for guns because that's all we need. Let's do a number of guns in boss. Int type int number of guns. So we'll start off with that and their positions, which should be fine. That's good. That's all handled by type. So this number of guns, and we'll do a for loop here. For go in here. For size I0, we'll start at 1, and then this textures dot size for now. We'll go to the end because that's all we're gonna do. We're gonna add a bunch of guns. So this is kind of complicated, but it should work. So we'll get size. We'll go to that, and then we'll say this guns dot add boss gun, and then what does it take? It took the constructor takes a texture and a position. This textures, let me just copy this. This textures at position I, and then vector the position. So I'm gonna add a bunch of guns. Oh wait, this texture is no. So I know that the gun texture is at this position, so I'm gonna say it's gonna have this gun. Oh, it depends on how we do. Oh, never mind. I'm sorry, guys and girls. I know how we're gonna do this. So the second one is gonna be the gun. The first, we're gonna send in the first gun in here, and then we're gonna send in the bullet texture. So 0, 1 for regular gun, 2 for regular bullet. So it's gonna be good. This is gonna be a simple boss. We send in the okay, so we're gonna, the first gun is gonna be here, and then at a position of vector 2f. Let's just say 0f, 0f right now. We'll just create it there. What is this? Okay, it needs a address to that. Boom. So we're gonna add 3 guns to this boss. Okay, we added 3 guns. Sorry about that. There we go. The body, the 3 guns, and that's it. That's all the textures we need. We're gonna, when we create the bullets, we're going to add the bullet texture. So that's good. Now in here we're gonna do this sprite dot set texture, and then boom, and then this gun sprite dot set position. All right. Then this shoot timer equals this shoot timer max. This this shoot timer max equals what do we want to give it? We should actually get that in as well. Position and then float shoot timer max. So that's a good way to customize a gun. Just shoot timer max. There we go. And the way we send it in is one gun is gonna shoot. Now we're gonna add a bunch more stuff to boss gun. We're gonna do rotation, intervals, periods, whatever. We can make any type of gun we want. Let's just say 20 for now. It's gonna be a crazy gun. Too many arguments and function call? Are you serious? Oh, in here. Oh, God damn it, I hate this. Okay, so let's just say 20. And then just add that everywhere. Now, this is gonna be a long video. Yeah, so I gotta quit the video here. I've been making 2 long videos. But yeah, thanks guys and girls for watching. We'll keep working on this, and we'll see where we'll be at in the next video. Alright, so thanks for watching. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Alright, bye-bye.